going to be on the hook in Wisconsin.
Governor Walker, you are getting heat now for two local investigations in the state of Wisconsin. First, when you were the Milwaukee County executive, there are allegations, and in fact people have been convicted for working on county time to help you and the lieutenant governor get elected. Here is an anti-Walker ad that is running right now in Wisconsin. Take a look.
The investigation is getting closer to Governor Walker.
What did the president know, and when did he first know it?
What did Scott Walker know, and when did he know it?
Now, we should point out that they have brought charges against a number of people. They brought absolutely no charges against you. But the reason this is hot again is because thousands of emails were released this week that indicate that you knew that public workers were working on county time in political campaigns, which is against the law.
Right, and that's just not, it's absolutely not true. And if you look at the facts out there, this is old news. This is about a case that was closed last March. A Democratic district attorney in Milwaukee County spent multiple years looking at all this information, the 27,000 plus pages of documents that were just released this week. Have been looked by a team led by a Democrat in Milwaukee County, and last year in March, he announced the end of that case. Plain and simple, it's old news. But we have our political operatives at the DNC and the DGA that desperately want to switch the subject from the fact of things like us taking a $3.6 billion budget deficit and turning it into a nearly $1 billion surplus. They don't want to talk about the improvement in the economy. They don't want to talk about the successes we've had in our state. Instead, they desperately want to switch the subject on a subject that's already been resolved as of last March.
Now, it may be old news, and I want to point out again that there were no charges were brought against you, but because of this dump of 25,000 documents, it's new news to a lot of the people in the state, and it's been big news in local papers in Wisconsin. In one email that was released this week, your then Chief of Staff, Thomas Nardelli, and let's put this up on the screen, writes campaign and county workers that you wanted to hold daily conference calls, quote, to review events of the day or of a previous or future day so we can better coordinate sound, timely responses. And in another email, County Administrative Director Cynthia Archer suggests a colleague should use a private email account. I use this private account quite a bit to communicate with SKW, that's you, and Nardelli, the former Chief of Staff. Question, if county workers were doing nothing wrong, why should they be using a private email account?
Well, but that's exactly to my point. You had a Democratic district attorney spend almost 3 years looking at every single one of those communications, interviewing people, talking to people, and closed the case last March.
Did you know there was a private email account?
No, again, it's one of those where I point out the district attorney has reviewed every single one of these issues.
But, sir, you're not answering my question.
No, because I'm not going to get into 27,000 different pieces of information. The bottom line is a Democrat who led the district attorney's office looked at all this, decided not to charge anything other than the individuals you mentioned who are people who had worked for the county in the past but don't work for me today. I think that's pretty straightforward.